Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful card. It says congratulations. I'm going to make one kind of a thinking of you card, different sentiment, but the same idea. I'm using the First Frost Clear Mount set and the Frosted Bouquet framelits. These go together. These are in the new catalog. I can't show you the inside, but let me show you the outside. This is it. This is my copy. If you're interested in getting the holiday catalog, you can start ordering September 5th, and you can let me know if you need a catalog, and I'll be glad to send you one. So along with these, there's a suite, and it has this beautiful, beautiful paper. I mean, I don't think the camera's going to do it justice, but it's got like a shimmer all over the whole paper. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? So I flipped the sheets around so you can see this is the other side of this one. So it's just so pretty. It's shimmery. So these are all the sheets of DSP. I'm not using any of them today, but I know I will be because it's just so gorgeous. I love it. I love florals, so this is right up my alley, and I love the color scheme. So anyway, I wanted to give you just a little sneak peek of what's to come. And again, let me know if you need a catalog. So on this card, I stamped on the vellum cardstock. Now this vellum cardstock is pretty, it's not too flimsy. It's pretty good. So it's nice to stamp on it. And then I backed it with a piece of mint macaron. And then this is Tranquil Tide, the background. I didn't want white behind it. I wanted to kind of give it a green look. So I thought the mint macaron and Tranquil Tide go very well together. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp that. So let me just show you. If I put this behind it, it's nice. But if you put this behind it, it just gives it kind of a little green background. So I just like that a little better. And then on the inside of this, I just stamped a couple of these sprigs and wishing you all the best. So let's get started on this one. The first thing I'm going to do is use this stamp, and I'm just going to go up and down with it 4 times. So let's see if I can get that going okay. And then I'm going to put that aside. The one thing about vellum is it needs to dry a little bit. So I'm just going to let it set for a few minutes. So I'm just going to get my stamp and ink it up, make sure it looks good. And this has highs and lows in it, so it looks kind of natural, and I love that. So let me just get this kind of lined up on my grid paper. And I'm just going to start right here. I'm eyeballing it. You could measure it if you wanted to see how it's kind of shaded lighter and darker. So then this one I'm going to do this way. So I'm going kind of up and down with it. And again, just eyeballing where I put it. It doesn't have to be exact. And I'll go up with it. And then I'll do one more down. And don't drop your stamp. Seems like I could do that the way I'm holding it. Hope I'm not scaring you. So it's not centered perfectly, but it's good enough for me. So I'm going to put that aside. And then let me get my sentiment stamped. This is 3 3/4 by 1 inch. And the sentiment, let me just stamp it and I'll tell you where I got it from. Just want to make sure it's right side up. And it's not. I don't put my labels on the back of my stamps because I think they stick to the clear block better if they're not labeled. So I don't always know if I'm right side up or upside down. And I am doing this to the left so that I have room for my flowers. So this says, thinking of you with loving thoughts and prayers. I have somebody in mind for this card. And I did get this sentiment from this lily pad lake. So that is exactly what I wanted to say. And I'm going to leave the inside blank because I want to handwrite a note. So we have these 2 things stamped. Let me do the inside. So on the inside, I'm going to use this sprig, and I don't want it so dark, so I'm just going to stamp off first and put one here, stamp off, and I'll put one this way. And that'll leave me plenty of room to write. So let's put this aside. Moving right along here. I think we're done with the Tranquil Tide. The other color I'm using is this Fresh Fig, and that's where I got the ribbon from. So I'm going to stamp some of these little guys here. And I wanted to show you a little trick. I have one done, and then I'll do two more because I wanted to have 3 of them. So I wanted to just show you this little trick of if you stamp it, it's kind of light, and I wanted my inside to be a little darker. So I'm going to just flip this over and use the other side, and I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to color it just this side, the inside that I want a little bit darker. Color that with the same color. This is the Fresh Fig marker, and I'm just gonna breathe on it and stamp it, and see how it's a little darker than this one. So I hope you could see that. And I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room because I get 2 of these framelits, so I can cut 2 of these out at a time, which is always nice to save a little time. So I'll put that over here. So those we can now cut out. And then I wanted to do this piece right here. So let me do that on another scrap. And this I'm just going to go directly down. And I'm going to do the roses, and that color, just wanted something a little brighter, is Mango Melody. It's one of our new colors. So let me see, will I fit the big one here? Well, I'll do the little one here. And then I have another scrap. Actually, I did the big one. So I'm just going to not stamp that one. Same thing, I just inked it up in the Mango Melody. So now we'll get our stamps out of the way, and we'll start cutting out. Let me just put this back, clear the deck here, and then I can get my my big shot out. So just bear with me. Just get rid of everything. Okay, so now I have my big shot, and I'll see if I can get a few of these things done at the same time. So let's put these together, and this. See if we can get them all done together. So see, they give you 2 of these, which is nice. So let's try to get this down. And you can use your magnetic platform, or you can put it down with Post-it if you wanted to. I don't know if you hear the dogs in the background. My daughter moved in with her dog, and I have my dog, and sometimes they fight and sometimes they get along. So she's out there with both of them, and I can hear them barking. So I hope that's not bothering you. So I am going to take a chance and get this all done at once. And you just really line up the framelit. And it's nice, there's framelits for everything. And then these are 2 extras that you can just cut out leaves and things. So get this one. So that looks good. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Just lay my top plate right down and run it through. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Oh, this stuck right to the top. Get all our pieces out. So we have 3 of these guys. A big rose, and a little rose, and then this pretty flower with the leaves. I don't know what you'd call it, but I did that all in one color. You could color it markers and get 2 colors out of it. The other thing I wanted to show you is it's nice that it has these 2, so you can do kind of a you know, white and then have a background to it, 2 different sizes, so it's a layering piece, which is nice. So let's get this out of the way, get rid of these things, and then we can put things together. Now I know with vellum it's always a little bit difficult to adhere everything down, and on my card I really only adhered it here. I didn't, this is all loose, but I figured it'll stay good. So I'm going to kind of place this down and kind of figure out where I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to flip this over and put my glue right here where I'm going to be able to hide it. So now when I put this on top of my layer, the mint macaron, I'm just going to try to line it up perfectly and lay it down. Okay, so see, you can see that, but we're going to hide it. The other thing I didn't do yet was I just stamped all around this card with this one. And where did that ink go? Tranquil Tide. So let's get that one going as well, just to create a little bit of interest in the background. So I didn't really get too carried away with making it all even, and just kind of, most of it's going to be hidden anyway. Looks kind of messy, but it'll all come together. So before I lay this one down, I'm going to work on this, and then I'm going to lay the whole thing down with the ribbon. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have everything cut out, I'm going to kind of build it on here and then lay this on top of the vellum. And I just want to tell you, the vellum is very easy to smear, so you got to really let it dry. So stamp it, go have a cup of tea or something, and come back to it, because I did have to interrupt this video and redo some of the work because it was getting smeared. You could probably use the heat tool to dry it, but then it warps it. So I mean, you certainly can do that, but I would just suggest let it sit. So I'm going to build on top of here, and then I'll lay this over, and I'm just going to try to place things. And let me get my sample out here so you can see what I did on the last card. And I don't think this will come out exactly the same way. I kind of don't like that leaf. I'm going to cut this leaf off and maybe add it in another place. So you have, you know, lots of flexibility here. And then whatever's hanging on the bottom, I'll probably just cut that off. So I'm going to just put some adhesive on this, on the front, and lay it on where I want it. And let's see, maybe this leaf can, let me see where I'm going to put it. Maybe I'll put it here. So let me just cut these off just to get them out of the way. And let me just snip this, although the ribbon will hide it, but maybe. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to just put a little adhesive on this one and stick that in there. Let's see, I'll put one of these here. Let me just put a little bit here. And I'll probably put adhesive on the backs of things too once I lay it down. I just want to get them placed. And we'll do another one here. And I probably should have my silicone mat so I'm not getting sticky everywhere. But we'll be okay. So let's see how this is going to look. I think that's good. And I'm going to put this down with dimensionals. And I think I'm going to put quite a few down just to hang on to the bulk that's here. Take the backs off. See, I got a little green on here when I laid it over that the paper. So it is a little bit, just have to be careful. The vellum paper. Okay. Now, do I want to add this right here? I think I will. So I'll just put this on. It's just kind of in the background. And I'm not sure that I want another one of these. I think I'm just going to leave it with the two. All right, so now I'm ready to put the ribbon on. And this ribbon is just really beautiful. It's the Fresh Fig color. And it's, what is it called? Mini Ruffled Ribbon. So I just laid it at the bottom. And I think I'm going to lay it underneath this a little bit. This one I went over, but I have this leaf here. So I'm just going to kind of measure it a little bit longer than the piece, the layer. And I think we could just tuck it under. What do you think? Or do we go over and under this? Let's see. I think I would like to go over and under. So I should have been a little more careful before I adhered things down. It always takes me a few times to figure out the best way to do things. So I'm going to try to get this guy underneath the leaf and the rose. Well, I'm sorry, this is probably not going as well as it should here, but all right, I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to put some snail on both sides, and then I will wrap it around, and it will just hang below, and that's okay. So I'm going to just adhere it, and then wrap it around, and adhere it back here. Just want to stick it down. Actually, I'm going to just put a little in the middle just to make sure it sticks in the front. Kind of making a mess out of this, but bear with me. It will turn out okay. It's just a little accent. Okay. And then we will put this whole thing down. I'm going to just put a little more adhesive here. And we could stick the whole thing down, just kind of centering it here. And there you have it. And then let's put the inside down. Just center this. Okay, so one goes over, one goes under. That's okay. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And this is just such a beautiful set. I hope you enjoyed it and are interested in purchasing it. You can go to my online store and buy it after September 5th. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.